Once upon a time, in a sunny meadow, there lived a curious rabbit named Peter. Peter had a fluffy tail, long ears, and a twitchy nose. He was very adventurous, and always poking his nose into places he shouldn't. Peter's best friend was his cousin, Benjamin Bunny, who was a little braver but just as mischievous. They lived with their families in cozy burrows under big old oak trees. One warm afternoon, Peter and Benjamin decided to visit Mr. McGregor's garden. Everyone knew this garden was full of delicious vegetables, but also guarded fiercely by Mr. McGregor, a grumpy old farmer. "We must be careful," said Benjamin, twitching his whiskers. Peter nodded, but his eyes sparkled with excitement. They squeezed under the garden gate, and before long they found themselves surrounded by rows of lettuce, cabbages, and carrots. "Look at all the food!" exclaimed Peter. They hopped from one row to the next, munching on the fresh, green leaves. But soon enough they heard the heavy footsteps of Mr. McGregor. "Quick, hide!" whispered Benjamin. They scurried under a large pumpkin, holding their breath. Mr. McGregor, with his watering can, stopped close by, peering around suspiciously. Peter's little heart pounded like a drum. After what felt like forever, Mr. McGregor moved on, muttering about pesky rabbits. Peter and Benjamin exchanged relieved glances. As they crept back to the gate, Peter spotted the biggest and juiciest carrot they had ever seen. "I have to get it," he said, his eyes wide. "No, Peter, it's too dangerous," urged Benjamin. But Peter darted out before Benjamin could stop him. He tugged hard on the carrot, but it wouldn't budge. Suddenly they heard Mr. McGregor's angry shout. Peter pulled harder, and with a mighty yank, the carrot came free, but so did Peter's coat, which had gotten stuck on a branch. "Run, Peter!" cried Benjamin. They sped through the garden, Peter now cold and coatless, and just managed to slip under the gate. Mr. McGregor's rake swooped down behind them. "That was too close," panted Benjamin. "I lost my coat, but at least we are safe," replied Peter. They made their way back home, and Peter's mother fussed over him, scolding him for being reckless while wrapping him in a warm blanket. Later that night, as they snuggled in their burrows, Benjamin whispered, "At least we got a story to tell." Peter grinned, happy to have such an adventurous day, even if it meant losing his coat. And from that day on, they were a bit more careful about sneaking into the garden, but only a bit.